I've just been given an amazing opportunity. This doesn't come around too often for, I suppose, detailers and stuff like that. Guys here at Drift Games have allowed me to come into their unit and explore the full Sonax range, giving me access to all of their range, all of the Sonax range that's here, and to use whatever I want. The fortunate thing about it is I get to use it on a cool car. So have a look. Obviously, as you can see from the reg plate, this is a 2000 Honda S2000 in a metallic grey colour. All the bells and whistles that are on it then as well. I'm not going to go through that, but you can watch the Drift Games video to see what Blaine said, all the bits and all the parts and what each brand and everything like that they are. What we're interested in is obviously getting it back to sort of original condition, or to where it should be, ahead of the Dub Shed show that's coming up now this weekend. At present, obviously there's a load of sort of dirt and stuff from transport and all the rest, so that's all going to be nicely coming off, hopefully. Bodywork really doesn't look too bad. Obviously in here I want to get a proper light on it, but it's not really looking too bad. So the wings have just had a little bit of work done on them, and we're possibly not going to go near those because I don't want, it's only after being sprayed and I don't want to kind of upset the solvents or anything like that in there. So we're going to work around those parts, and we get the wheels all nice and clean. Obviously they're covered in the compound dust and everything from the sprayers. Anyway, what products are we going to use for this? First of all, if you want to know what Drift Games was like when they first opened up this new unit, you can check out the video just up there or there, whatever corner it is in. Some of the equipment that they have here is going to be pretty cool to use as well, so check this out. So we've got items from the Bigboi range, then their power washer. I know nothing about them, but I'm excited to use it at the same time. We also have the blower then as well, which is obviously, it's on a wall mount there, but it's detachable. So we will be making full use of those. We've a load of products in there that we're going to be able to use as well. I'll go through which ones I'm going to use in a little while. And then the pièce de résistance is the detailing bay that we're going to be inside in. So we're going to bring the car in here eventually, and I need to try and figure out what products I'm going to use from there, or there. Obviously, depending on the task that we're going to be doing, will determine which products that we're going to be using. We haven't fully finalized yet, but stay tuned to the video, and if I don't use the right products, maybe you're a Sonax user, you can let me know which ones you would have recommended then. So let's get started on the cleaning process. All right, okay, let's figure out this thing first. I need to watch this other car here as well. Don't want to harm this PS. All right, water on. On. Jesus. Straight away, there's a lovely handle on that. Lovely ergonomics toward the handle. I know it's pretty big, but in comparison to the one that I have, with a great bit of power there. Okay, so we're going to go wheels first, but I did end up, I brought a load of my own brushes and stuff, so we'll figure out what wheel cleaner we're going to use now. So I tend to like to use a shampoo within the wheel bucket then as well, so I'm going to try and figure out which one. Okay, so for the wheels and probably the rest of the bodywork as well, I'm going to use the gloss shampoo from Sonax. So what this is it's safe on gloss paintwork and any sort of, what does it say? Penetrates and dissolves dirt without damaging the protective wax layer on the paint. So if you do have something that's already on your paintwork, this is safe to use. So there's no gloss enhancers or anything like that in this. So I'm going to put this into the wheel bucket, and I'm probably going to use it on the car then later on after that then. Literally, as I said, this is just as a sort of like a lubricant for the brushes and stuff on the wheels. So I have two types of wheel cleaner then from Sonax. I have the Beast and I have the normal wheel cleaner. This one is more like an iron fallout as well as a wheel cleaner. I think obviously if you don't wash the wheels first, you're going to see a huge reaction with that, naturally enough. And then this is just your normal everyday sort of wheel cleaner for sort of well-kept wheels and stuff, non-acidic. So we're going to try them both on the car, and we'll see see what we think about them. So, going with the normal wheel cleaner first. Straight from the off, I'm looking at it, it's not changing any colours, which we didn't expect it to do, but it's quite a foamy substance, which is really good because I got the shampoo then to be some sort of like a lubricant. The fact that it has that little bit of sort of sooty residue and lubrication there, it actually makes it a lot easier to use. So yeah, we'll let it sit, we'll just give it a little bit of agitation. Now, I got actually go back to the off. Right back to the back of this brush. It's actually great because it's such an easy wheel to clean. It's so open in here and you can fit everything in there, all their brushes and everything. Okay, by now you've probably gathered that the wheels are they're not actually that dirty. So I'm not getting a huge amount of sort of effects or anything like that, or dirt changes or any sort of massive differences. But we'll play on through the rest of the wheels. We'll go through the beast and see what that's like. So obviously it smells like your normal iron fallout wood. As I said, this is safe for all steel and light alloy rims and painted, chrome plated, polished and matte rims. Gentle on materials, skin is pH neutral. So, should be safe on this one. Let me see if we get much of a reaction. So if you can see it there, there's kind of a slight reaction going on there now with a small bit of iron on the wheel obviously. So we'll just let that work, and we're going to give it a little bit of agitation now in a minute, but I'm going to try and get, hopefully we can see it in here. These arches and stuff are manky, so we're going to try and see how much of that we can get then. Add in another product that I'm going to be using on the wheels and on the car as well is Multi-Star. This is their all-purpose cleaner that's available to use on any surface basically. So what I'm going to use it on is the tyres. I'm also going to use it as a foaming agent for a pre-wash then. So at least you can see with the beast anyway, there's been no reaction or anything like that on the wheels as regards the material of the wheels, so it should be safe to use on most wheels that are out there at the minute. At the same time, you're guaranteeing a good clean wash then, deionising or de-ironing the wheels as well. So I'm happy with that. There's some savage power to that Bigboi power washer anyway, that's for sure. Okay, I'm going to do the other two wheels then, and we'll go on to bodywork then. Okay, so what is my impressions on two of these products? I really like this product. I think this is a whopper product. For a normal everyday wheel cleaner, this one has the sudsing properties that it actually suds up when you're using it, so you don't actually need to have shampoo in the bucket, which I did earlier on. I meant to say at the start of the video, I have no experience with using Sonax products whatsoever. It's kind of aimed at a first-time user, picking up the product and trying it and see how they feel or see what they like about them. So as a normal everyday wheel cleaner, this one is absolutely whopper. We're going to move on to the washing stage now. So I'm going to do a pre-wash. The car is covered in, obviously there's certain areas that were just done by the body shop there recently. It's the wings. So I'm not going to be going through, I'm not going to be touching them too much at all. Maybe quick, just wash over, but I'm not going polishing or doing anything like that. The car is obviously, it's covered in dust, as you can see. So obviously it's transported maybe on the back of a trailer or something. And we can't actually see exactly what the condition of the paintwork is in just at the minute. So I'm going to use a pre-wash now. And again, I'm going to use the Multi-Star. Bit of a caveat to the video, although I've never used the products before, I've gotten a bit of advice from Sonax themselves as regards how to use the products or what products to use. I gave them a scenario and I asked them what product would they use. There were certain ones that they told me then. So as regards a pre-wash with a high alkaline level, because the car has been sitting up for a number of years, they recommended to use Multi-Star. So not only is it just an APC, but it also acts as a pre-wash then as well. So that's what we're going to use. I also have to hurry up a little bit because the sun is, what time is it? I have no idea. It's now 11 o'clock in the morning and the sun is this magical thing that we don't know about here in Ireland, starting to come up now. So we need to try and get this washed and cleaned out of the sunlight then. Okay, so as I said, the Sonax, the Multi-Star is literally what it says on the tin. It's multi, so it's obviously able to be used on numerous different places and areas and materials, both inside and out, and it must be a star product. So I'm thinking there was obviously something done on this before in the past, because I'm just looking at some of the areas. See the likes on the window there? I think there might have been some sort of like a protection of some sort going on there, just the way it's not sticking. It does look like a show car, so you'd anticipate that there was something done on it in the past. But anyway, the foam is acting nicely, and we're just letting it sit for a few minutes, and we'll get rid of it then. Like inbuilt in here is just, it's a bit something else, like tar sort of. I think I'm gonna have to get tar and glue remover or something in there to try and shift anything that's going on in there. I do have to say though, the Bigboi blower, or sorry, the Bigboi washer here, there's some power off it. You can just feel it from even just holding on to the lance itself. It's just trying to push you back. There's that much power out of it, so it's a whopper piece of equipment. I have two different mitts. I've one for sort of down the lower areas and one for up the top. So we've used Multistar, which is an alkaline based APC, to try and remove whatever sort of old dirt there might have been there. Again, I don't know what was there in the first place, but we did our best to try and get whatever we could off it. And then this is just your regular shampoo then, because we'll be going on to decontamination then to, oh, that's something that needs to be touched up. We'll go into our decontamination stage then to try and clear all the rest of the dirt that might be built up in the paintwork then before polishing. So yeah, so the gloss shampoo, what's it like? Well, for the small amount that I've used there now, I'm getting a lot of suds into the into the pad, which is great. Personally, I do like the suddy shampoos. I like. Okay, there's a lot to be said for the ones that are, you know, low dilution ratio or whatever like that. The ones that are very concentrated, and you get like 50,000 washes out of one bottle. But when it comes down to actually user experience, just tastes like smells like a normal sort of shampoo, sort of orangey flavour or something. I'm not exactly sure, but you get a lot of suds out of it, and I like to be able to see myself personally where I have been onto the car, been cleaning the car, where I've washed on the car. So for me, suds would be a bit of a big thing. Smell is normally another major thing, but it's actually quite pleasant here now, I have to say. Nothing special, but it's just a regular shampoo. I'm sure you can see from the sunlight as well that there's a lot of sun now at the minute, so I'm trying to get through it as quick as possible to be able to get it indoors as soon as possible, because the sunlight will come along and make everything a hell of a lot harder then. A little tip was to start on the side that is not in the sunlight, so you get the most amount of sort of dwell time on that, and then work your way around. But it's just I'm getting to that stage of the day where it's just getting hot now. Then, because the sunnier side is drying out quicker, I'm going to go with that one first. So it's kind of a case of trying to keep it cool as well as rinsing it off. Iron fallout remover, we're using Flugrost Entferner. Yeah, I think that pronounced it right. So all we're doing is spraying it onto the car, letting it dwell, obviously watching for the sunlight, don't let it dry in or anything like that. And it does say to rub it onto the paintwork, you know, let it sit for a few minutes and then rub it onto it. But I think, I don't think there's much on the car, but we just want to do a full decontamination anyway. So as a fallout remover, it's actually not the worst smelling, which is the one thing people notice about a fallout remover is the smell. So it's actually not the worst, I have to say, and easy to use like any other fallout removers. Nothing to it, just spraying it on. Seeing does anything go purple. If it doesn't, grand, happy days. If it does, wash it off, and it helps with the iron fallout then. Was anything happening here? Not really. There's nothing much going on. A tiny bit down on the bottom on the carbon, you can see it just rolling down onto it, but overall not much doing. So I'm happy enough. There's not much going on there now. That's after about 5 minutes, so I'm just going to rinse it off before it dries in any way further there. So for the tar remover stage, I'm looking at this little bit here that's hanging down. I think that's some sort of like a tar that was dissolved at some point, but it just didn't fully remove. Also, we're looking at the inside in here. Can you see in there? And it's not budging, so I'm going to spray some, hang on, I'll put that up a bit. Spray some of the Sonax tar remover. And so it's in an aerosols can, which I've never used before. Okay, so it's not a very sort of heavy direct spray. It's like a sort of like a mist effect. Obviously spraying it onto the sections. Say we do it there. Do it there. But again, easy to use, I suppose, is one big thing from it. And then you're meant to let that sit for a minute and see is there any tar deposits. So I'm looking at there is no real tar on the car, to be fair. I'm still going to go around the rest of the car and do it anyway. But let's just see that. That just wiped straight off then. So obviously it was some sort of tar residue. And if we go in here, it's taking it all off, is it? Yeah. So we can get the inside cleaned then properly and look good then. Okay, so tar and iron remover is all done now, so we're moving on to the Sonax clay bar then. And the bit of advice that I did get is, as a lubricant, you can use clear glass then, which will obviously help it move over then. Now, so in the box obviously is just, let me open it up, you're getting your clay bar and a couple of bits of instructions stuff, so that's like straight away you can feel it's nice and soft, so it's not one of these sort of hard clays that you'd normally get. I think personally it's worth investing in a good clay bar, because if you get the cheaper ones they just fall apart and they're kind of useless as well. So yeah, and the box obviously acts as your little storage box then, so I didn't feel much, there's not much roughness to this car. As I said, I think there might have been a polish done along the way somewhere. So I'm not expecting much to come off this, but we'll give it a go anyway and see. Is it, Dave? Yeah, I just kind of found it there on So I've just caused a lot of hassle to try and get it all into the Sonax bay, but we're getting there. So I'm going to start with the headlights, because for one, I want to see what the difference is going to be like here on these anyway. I have taped them off because this wing is just, sorry, which one is it? Sorry, the other wing on the driver's side is just back from getting the paintwork fixed up on it, and also the rim or the lip on this part here has been done as well. But I'm just going to tape it up anyway. I'm going to do the same on the other side, because I don't know what sort of abrasion this polish is. So this is the headlight polish, and my usual process would be to be sanding down and 3 stages of sanding, 3 stages of polishing, and a coating then to seal it up again. But the advice that I got on this one is that you just need to use this and a strong pad. So I'm going to use a wool pad, and we're going to see how it goes. Colour straight away in the pad that was white, so I'll try and blow it out with a compressor. So hopefully you saw what they were like beforehand. They were all clouded and all yellowed, so that has made just one pass of that headlight polish from Sonax has made a drastic difference. So now the headlights are done with a really big transformation. We're going to move on to the bodywork then, and I'm trying to decide which place to start on first. I think we might start on the roof, simply for the fact that there is, hang on, you're probably hearing my shoes. I think I'm going to start on the roof because there's a couple of blemishes in here. I don't know if you can see them on the camera or not, but say the likes of there's bird etchings in there. There's bird etchings all over this one, and that seems to be what the clay bar was picking up a lot on. Some over the side then as well. So I'm going to work on the roof and see how it goes then. For the roof, we're going to be using Sonax cut and finish. Let's see how it goes. This isn't a massive amount of cut, but it's giving that little bit to add that more gloss. So it's a lot more glossier than cutting per se. So what we're trying to do is just bring back the color a little bit, just pop it out a little bit, but we're not going massively major paint correction because it's, well, one, it's not too bad, and two, it's reacting very well anyway. So we'll see if we can get a light on it to see the differences. Right, so we're going to try and attempt to see if we can get rid of the sort of consternation off this now. I'm not sure if it's here or if it's under the lacquer or what the story is, but we're going to try it and see what happens. Try a little test spot. Battery level 10%, right, okay, not much battery left. Okay, so let's take this off for a second. So I went for, let me see, here's what we're dealing with. Bit of a cut later. Looking good. Brilliant. So I'm happy enough with the way things are going now at the minute. So we're using, as I said, we're using the cut and finish. You can see on this one then, cut levels are at 5, the gloss levels are at 5, so it's actually doing a nice job. It's done a great job on the carbon down here, which was all sort of oxidized and white and everything like that. So that has brought that one back up now, thankfully. Just for the process, I'm using an orange pad, which would be a medium pad. And we've just done the side, we've done the roof, we've done this this part of this panel. I'm just going to do the front end of this panel. Then I'm going to work our way down the side of the door then and do the rear panel. I think that's where we're going to be at today, and then tomorrow we'll finish the rest off and get the coating on it. So after the first day, I think I'm pretty happy with the progress made so far anyway. So we've managed to do that wing there. We've also done the carbon, which I'm going to go back over that with just with a finer compound. We've gone over the side of the car, which has turned out deadly. Seems to be it was fairly good at the start, but it's even obviously better now because we've just gone over it with a little polish, so there's not much swirls or anything going on in there now. Paintwork is looking really good, really popping. Got most of that side done there now, so that's a good start to the day anyway. And we just started on the spoiler here then as well. So I don't know if you can see, obviously we stopped around here, and that's obviously gone from there into the polish bit. So that's me done for today. I'm gonna go home, charge the batteries, get going again, and start again in the morning. We have obviously all the rest of the car to do, the other side, the front bonnet, which is massive on these things, and then the rear then as well. So see you in the morning. We got the carbon bits up and going again, but I can see now it's starting to fade again, so we need to just go on that again for some reason. Door is done, roof has been done down the side, so we did start a tiny bit of the spoiler, but we'll go over that one again, and we get that rest of that done, and then we're going to start on the boot and the back here today now. It's actually interesting on this part that that's starting to come through again, so I don't know, does that mean that it's underneath or not? But I'm going to just go over it again and hope that it'll stay away anyway, so I really don't know what that is. So this is the part I've been dreading to do. It's just the sheer size of the bonnet alone is one thing, but there's so many different little nooks and crannies that are there, so I'm going to have to use each of the polisher sizes that I have, be it the 2-inch, 3-inch and 5-inch. So this is the last part now left, and then we've gone on to the front bumper, and then once we have all that sorted, then we're ready for coating. Okay, so we're getting on to the very last part of the car now. All the polishing is done. The windows need a little bit of a going over, so they do. And where else are we? Going to take the tape off. I'm going to wipe down the car one last time just to get rid of any residual polish before we put a coating on. Unsure which one as of yet, but have one in mind, but we'll see. So yeah, we're just getting rid of all this tape, and then, as I said, there's a lot of extra little bits of polish just kind of flung around the place, so we just want to wipe all that off and then get going with the coatings. So for final protection, I have decided to go with the Sonax Polymer Net Shield. And what this is it's basically, it's so easy to use. It comes in obviously in an aerosol can. It gives you 6-month protection, and it's also a case of spray onto the bodywork or onto an applicator, put it onto the bodywork and then wipe it straight off then. It's as easy as that. And for 6 months protection, to make it easy, That's the one I'm going for. Probably thinking I don't even need that much because the applicator has held on to quite a lot of moisture in it as well. So it seems that you can do a lot of panels at any one time, which is great. It makes it all the difference. It doesn't dry in. It's just very easy to use, and I'm really happy with that now. So if I can do the roof that quick, I'm going to go and do the whole door all at once. And the mirror. As I said, there's loads on the sponge already, so you know I didn't spray the mirror. I know there's loads there. Final hurdle now. The car has just been coated in the net shield, and we're going with the glass cleaner to clean the outside of the glass then. One of the last things to do is I'm going to use this plastic restorer to try and bring up the scuttle pads or whatever you call them here. So hopefully this will work. To bring it out, I'll just do this part here and then get it out. It is. The S2000 is now complete, using the full range of Sonax gear, or I suppose what I needed at the time. So it was great to be able to sort of pick and choose what I thought might have been suitable for it. Hope you enjoyed the video. As I said, not many people get this chance to use whatever they want from a certain brand or just take their pick. So I'm absolutely over the moon and delighted, and have to say thanks to Drift Games for one, on allowing me the opportunity to do this, and also over and back with the UK, over with Sonax UK and Chris over there, asking his advice on some certain products and stuff. So thanks very much for all of that. Hope you enjoyed the video and you've seen some good results from the products. All the best.